You know, most people think they have a handle on their money. They believe, I know what I spend, I'm fine. But the truth? The truth is brutal. Most people have no idea where their money actually goes. You wake up, you swipe your card, maybe buy a coffee here, a lunch there, some impulsive online shopping late at night, and before you know it, your bank account is empty, and you're left wondering what happened. There's this sinking feeling, this creeping stress, because you feel like you're working hard, earning money, but somehow it's slipping through your fingers. And it's terrifying. I've seen it happen countless times. People live paycheck to paycheck, not because they don't earn enough, but because they never track their spending. They don't write it down. They don't check it regularly. And every small expense, yes, even that $4 coffee or that $15 app subscription adds up. It's sneaky. It's almost invisible, but by the end of the month, it's catastrophic. The scary part, this isn't just about losing money, it's about losing control. And when you lose control over your money, you start to feel powerless in life. You can't save, you can't invest, and worst of all, you can't plan for the future. Here's a secret that most people never realize. Tracking spending isn't just about numbers. It's about awareness. It's about facing reality, and that can be uncomfortable. Because when you see exactly where your money goes, it might make you angry. It might make you sad. You might feel guilty. But that discomfort, that's the first step to freedom. When you know exactly where every dollar is going, you gain power. You gain control. You can decide what to cut, what to prioritize, and where to invest. Suddenly that $4 coffee becomes a choice instead of a leak. And here's the kicker: once you start tracking, something amazing happens. You start to notice patterns. You start to question habits. You realize that all those little unnoticed purchases are stealing your financial future. And the truth is, if you don't track your spending, no amount of income increase, no raise, no bonus will save you. You'll still end up trapped in the same cycle. So take control now. Start tracking. Every dollar counts. Every decision matters. Because if you don't, your money isn't yours. Let's talk about something that hits deep. Living beyond your means. You know what that feels like, right? It's that moment when you're checking your bank account after a weekend of treating yourself and your stomach drops. That sick feeling, that panic, because suddenly reality hits your lifestyle is costing more than you earn. And the scary truth, almost everyone does this. And not just occasionally, it becomes a habit. People convince themselves, I need this car to look successful. I deserve these clothes. Everyone else is living like this, why shouldn't I? And at first it feels amazing. The thrill, the excitement, the instant satisfaction. But it's fleeting. That joy, it vanishes the moment the bills arrive. Credit cards max out, loans pile up, and suddenly the lifestyle you thought was freedom becomes chains. Heavy, suffocating chains that weigh down your future. Here's what most people don't realize. The problem isn't income, it's mindset. It's not about how much you earn. It's about how much you spend. I've seen people with six-figure salaries drowning in debt because they can't say no to the next shiny thing. And the worst part, they're constantly stressed, always worried, never truly enjoying the money they work so hard for. Because the money is gone before they even realize it. Imagine this for a second. You finally earn that raise, that promotion you've been working for. Exciting, right? But instead of building wealth or saving for the future, it disappears into things you don't need. And then, when an emergency hits, because life always hits, you're back to square one, wondering how you'll survive. It's exhausting, it's frustrating, and it's completely preventable. Here's the harsh truth that nobody wants to admit. Living beyond your means isn't just a small mistake, it's a trap. And escaping it requires courage. The courage to say no to temporary pleasure in exchange for long-term freedom. The courage to create a budget, to prioritize needs over wants, to live below your means even when you could spend more. Because every dollar you don't waste today is a brick in the foundation of your financial future. It's not about being cheap. It's about being smart. It's about controlling your money instead of letting it control you. And once you start living within your means, something magical happens. Stress fades, freedom grows, and that future you've been dreaming about, it suddenly feels possible. Let's face it, life is unpredictable. No matter how careful you are, unexpected events happen. a car breakdown, a medical bill, a sudden job loss. And most people, they are completely unprepared. They ignore the one thing that could save them from financial panic, an emergency fund. This isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind. It's about knowing that no matter what happens, you won't be crushed. Think about it. Imagine waking up one morning and your car won't start. You don't have the cash to fix it. Panic sets in. Your heart races. Anxiety floods every decision you make. You start calling family, friends, maybe even taking on high-interest loans, all because you didn't prepare. That's the harsh reality for millions of people. And it doesn't stop at cars. Emergencies hit everywhere. Health crises, home repairs, sudden unemployment. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. And if you haven't set aside a safety net, it hits hard. Here's the thing that shocks most people. Having an emergency fund is not optional. It's essential. It's not about being rich or having extra money to splurge. It's about survival. That fund acts as a buffer, a shield that protects you from turning a temporary setback into a permanent disaster. Without it, one small crisis can snowball into months or even years of debt. And the emotional toll? It's crushing. Sleepless nights, stress, anxiety, feelings of helplessness, all because of one thing you could have done differently. And here's the truth. Nobody tells you. It doesn't take a fortune to start. Even $20 a week, $50 a month, it adds up. The key is consistency. The key is making your future self a priority. Every deposit into that emergency fund is a vote for your own security. Every dollar you save is freedom from fear, freedom from the constant worry that life might knock you down and you won't have the strength or the money to get back up. People who ignore emergency funds are gambling with their lives. And most don't even realize it until it's too late. But those who prepare, they sleep better at night. They take risks in business and life with confidence because they know they have a safety net. They aren't controlled by fear. They control their own destiny. And that's not just smart. That's powerful. That's freedom. Now let's talk about something that quietly steals your financial future, neglecting investments. Most people think, I'll start later. And I'll invest when I have more money. I'll think about it next year. But here's the painful truth. Every day you wait, your money is losing potential. That's not exaggeration. That's reality. Time is the most powerful ally in wealth building, and ignoring investments, it's like watching a train leave the station without you. Think about it for a moment. You work hard, you save diligently, but all that money sits idle in a checking or savings account, barely keeping up with inflation. Meanwhile, people who take action, who start investing even small amounts, watch their money grow exponentially over time. It's not magic. It's the power of compound interest, the most underestimated financial tool in the world. And the frustrating part? You don't feel the pain immediately. That's why most people ignore it. They don't realize that delaying even by a few years can cost tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands over a lifetime. And the emotional cost? It's devastating. Imagine realizing in your 40s or 50s that you could have been financially secure or even wealthy if you had started investing in your 20s. That regret is crushing. You can't get those lost years back. You can't rewind time. And yet every day people continue to procrastinate. They tell themselves, I'm too young to worry about retirement, or I don't make enough to invest. But here's the truth. They're lying to themselves. You don't need millions to start. You just need a plan. You just need action. Investing isn't just about money. It's about freedom, security, and the ability to make choices without fear. It's about building a life where you don't have to worry about bills or emergencies because your money is working for you, silently growing, quietly preparing you for the future you deserve. And the most powerful thing, the sooner you start, the less you need to stress later. So don't ignore it. Don't wait for the perfect moment because it will never come. Open that investment account. Start small, but start now. Your future self will look back and thank you with relief, confidence, and freedom. Delaying investment isn't just a financial mistake. It's giving up control of your own destiny. Let's get real for a moment. High interest debt is one of the quietest, deadliest traps people fall into. Most of us don't even notice it at first. You swipe your credit card, you buy that new gadget, that trendy outfit, or that weekend getaway. It feels good in the moment, exciting, almost empowering. But then the bill comes, and if you only pay the minimum, that debt starts growing like a snowball rolling down a hill. And it's terrifying how fast it can take over your financial life. Credit cards, payday loans, personal loans, these are just tools. They're chains, if mismanaged. Every extra dollar of interest is money you'll never see again. And it's not just about money, it's about stress, anxiety, even shame. People feel trapped, suffocated by obligations they didn't fully understand when they signed up. They stop enjoying life because every financial decision becomes a source of fear. It's heartbreaking. You work so hard for your money, yet a chunk of it vanishes into these invisible, ever-growing holes. And here's the reality most people avoid facing. High-interest debt doesn't just affect your finances today, it affects your future. Your dreams get delayed, your investments shrink, your opportunities vanish because so much of your income is tied up in paying interest that could have been growing your wealth. That frustration, that helplessness, it builds quietly, day by day, until one morning you realize you're trapped in a cycle that's hard to escape. But here's the empowering truth. You can take control. You can fight back. Start by understanding your debt, the exact numbers, the interest rates, the timeline. Make a plan. Pay off the highest interest first, even if it's uncomfortable. Cut unnecessary expenses. Negotiate lower rates if possible. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Every payment you make is a blow against the chain that has been holding you back. And imagine the feeling when that debt finally disappears. Relief washes over you. Freedom returns. You start seeing your money as a tool for growth, not a trap. You can breathe again, make decisions without fear, and finally direct your energy toward building wealth instead of servicing obligations. High-interest debt is dangerous, but it isn't permanent. Confront it, attack it, own it, because the longer you ignore it, the more power it takes from your life and the more regret you'll carry into the future. Let's end with something that almost everyone overlooks, but it's perhaps the most damaging mistake of all. Failing to set financial goals. So many people float through life with no plan, no direction. They earn money, they spend money, and then they wonder why their bank account never grows, why they're always stressed, why they feel like they're running on a treadmill that never ends. It's exhausting, and worst of all, it's completely avoidable. Here's the truth: money without a goal is like a ship without a rudder. You might be moving, but you have no idea where you're going. You might be working harder than ever, but all that effort feels meaningless. Every dollar you earn is just gone. And the emotional cost? It's brutal. Frustration, anxiety, a creeping sense that life is passing by while you're stuck in place. You watch others achieve their dreams, buy homes, travel, invest, retire comfortably, and you ask yourself, why not me? The reason is simple. They have a plan. They have goals. And you don't. Financial goals aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They're a map. They give you purpose to guide every decision. Every purchase, every investment, every saving habit becomes intentional instead of random. When you know exactly what you want, whether it's buying a house, starting a business, or retiring early, you start thinking differently about money. That latte or that impulse buy. Suddenly, it's not just a fleeting pleasure. It's a choice that could bring you closer to your dreams or push you further away. And the best part? Goals create momentum. Small wins compound. You pay off debt faster, save more consistently, invest strategically, and watch your financial confidence grow. You feel empowered because your money is finally working for you instead of controlling you. And the emotional shift is incredible. You go from anxiety and fear to excitement and clarity. You're no longer guessing, you're winning. But if you ignore goals, life stays chaotic, money slips away, opportunities vanish, dreams remain just dreams, and that frustration, it eats away at you quietly over the years. So don't wait. Write down your goals. Be specific. Be bold. Be relentless. Because setting financial goals isn't just about money. It's about taking control, reclaiming your life, and finally building the future you deserve. Take charge today, because the life you dream of won't happen by accident.